Welcome back. You are watching Namibia Connect on your home channel NBC. Jane Kuhanga is the previously disadvantaged Namibian Commercial Farmers Union chairperson and now joining us on Zoom to discuss matters affecting her members and more specifically on drought. A very good morning, Ms. Jane. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on NBC.
Very well. First things first, Jane, talk to us about how the drought affected livestock farmers.
Thank you so much. To be honest, drought has affected livestock farmers, even crop farmers across the whole of Namibia, and there is really eminent people. You can see that we have drought in Namibia. The farmers are struggling a lot. Many are trying to really also shift and come into like Oshogonjupa. I've seen a lot of people from Kunene moving, trying to get the little grazing that is this side of Oshogonjupa, but still it's not enough, so the farmers are struggling.
Now, you have visited some of the areas affected by the drought. You mentioned some of them just there. What are some of the the farmers on the ground most concerned about?
They are concerned that there is no grazing for the animals. It is dry. The fodder, the leeks are also very expensive. They have sold many of the animals in return to feed the remaining animals. But it seems again the subsidy that they were supposed to receive from government, it is coming a bit very slow. So there is a very, very big concern, and farmers are really in need of help. And if we are not proactive now in this 1-2 months to come, I suspect a disaster to come. Yes, I expect.
Very well. And speaking about the government, has the drought relief measures by government and other relevant institutions, come to aid for some of the farmers, and especially when it comes to the relief that is provided? How has that, worked for some of the farmers in the areas that you just mentioned?
To be honest, the government have set a program to assist farmers in terms of subsidies. If you sell this much, you will get this much. It was also announced in July that it is going to be rolled out, but till today, the system or the processes that are involved in getting the program rolled out and for the farmers to benefit as per the government announcement, this is really coming in very, very, very slow. So the farmers really are very struggling. They are really, really struggling to keep the farmers alive. So I think it is high time now that those that are entrusted with these funds to try and see how they can speed up. We thought it's going to be okay come maybe August, September, but till to date, I think there is a slow implementation of this program in terms from the government side.
And as the previously disadvantaged Namibian Commercial Farmers Union's chairperson, what do you think government need in terms of improving on to aid the farmers?
I think what farmers do need, the affirmative action loan scheme holders, that is an old scheme that has been implemented in 1992. Farmers have gone through a lot of problems and challenges, which they really have tried to bring to the attention of government. Most of the farmers also don't have the sufficient animals, the carrying capacity to really farm productively. So there is a need that government need to review the scheme. If the scheme is reviewed, it might bring an aid to the farmers, because what we are doing now currently, that the government have also implemented a system of trying to the drought relief that was launched through the Agricultural Bank of Namibia.
Yeah.
And through this scheme is that only those in good standing would benefit from this scheme. But now, having had a lot of farmers that are on this side of the road that were struggling all the years even to cope up.
I want to move to another point on finding out from you exactly what interventions are the farmers actually using to mitigate drought. We know of some examples like the cactus harvesting and chemathon pods crushing as well. So those are some of the interventions that some of the farmers are coming up with to make sure that they're actually trying to mitigate this drought and feed their livestock and so forth. What are some of the other interventions that farmers are coming up with in the areas that you have noticed?
Yeah, some of those, like they are trying to do this bush encroachment to try to sell charcoal and all this to mitigate the drought. But again, that is in order for you to do any business. The charcoal industry and from the livestock in order to shift to the charcoal. But it is now again not the case, because you don't have the livestock is not even fetching the right price at the markets at this point in time.
Very well. Now, your organization has on a number of occasions urged, Agri Bank to waive interest on farm loans during these precocious times, such as drought especially. What is the situation on that front, and where have developments ended between your organization and Agri Bank thus far?
Okay, the government has rolled a program specifically for the clients of Agri Bank. But the program that is now earmarked to assist the farmers in terms of drought has a tag which says that you need to be in good standing with the bank in order for you to get assisted or to get the relief. So many farmers have been left behind because they were not in good standing, even though some were in good standing, but they have probably in the past also get restructuring. The drought that is the relief that is with the bank currently is really, but we are waiting at the end of the term how many from the previously disadvantaged commercial farmers that have been crying for years whether they are indeed being helped with this system. So we will wait for the statistics to speak for themselves. But as of now, really, that relief is very difficult for many of our members to benefit from, because they have been in an area, we have since 2013, we had drought. And all these consecutive years that then followed thereafter, we haven't recovered fully. So many of our farmers that have been crying for the bank to assist are not benefiting from this drought relief that has been launched of recent.
Jane Kuhanga, thank you so much for making the time to talk to us about this very important situation that a lot of Namibians are currently facing. Thank you so much for making the time to talk.